I am the Lonely Necron, and welcome to my basement. So recently I broke down and bought some Imperium-like units, some Astra militarum, and I put them against my orcs, and they just completely mauled the orcs. So today they're going to go up another step on the ladder and fight the tyranids. So we'll see how well they do against the tyranids. Today's battlefield looks like this. Nice little 4x4 chunk of board, covered with bleak rides, whatever this stuff is, Sector Imperialis, Factorum kind of stuff. Alright, so here we have today's Tyranid offering. We have a regular non-flying Hive Tyrant with a Stranglethorn Cannon. He knows Onslaught and Catalyst. Two groups of Tyranid warriors, one with 3 and one with 4. They all have various amounts of weaponry. There's 2 Spine Fists and a Devourer in there. Stranglethorn Cannon, another Spine Fist, and I don't remember what that one on the front right is. I want to say it's a Devourer. 10 Gene Stealers, and 5 Ripper Swarms that'll be burrowing underground. So there's our Tyranids for the day. Alright, so here we have what I have so far entirely for Imperial Guard. We have the Cadian Command Squad, led by the Cadian Commander, with a Power Sword and a Plasma Pistol, and then the Boxcaster, the Regimental Standard, all the happiness. 2 groups of 10 Cadian shock troops. Each one has the guy with the Vox, a flamethrower, and a grenade launcher. I know that this guy right here, I know that looks like a plasma gun, but we're really going to pretend it's the last gun. I used the wrong weapon on accident, you know. Then we have 2 field ordnance batteries. One with the rocket launcher and one with the last cannon. A armored sentinel with the heavy flamer and a sentinel chainsaw. It has a hunter killer missile, but I'm not quite sure where it's at right now. And then the Rogaldor. Let's see, Castigator Gatling cannon, heavy stover, 2 melta guns, 2 multi-meltas, and then a twin battle cannon. I bought a commissar today, but I haven't put it together yet, so next game. So this is what we got for Imperial Guard. Alright, I'm going to roll some dice for deployment, set up this game, and we're going to have a good time. Alright, so the Imperial Guard won the deployment roll. I chose this side. So we got Sentinel shock troops with the missile launcher on the left side here. Cadian command squad with the other group of troops. The last cannon on the far right there with the Rogaldor in the back. So that puts Tyranids on this side. Got a Hive Tyrant in the middle on top of that thing. Tyranid warriors on either side. Gene Stealers. With their Vanguard deployment, they deployed over here. And then the Ripper Swarms are just wandering around in the ground. So the Imperial Guard would go first since they won the deployment roll, but I rolled a steal for the Tyranids, and they rolled a 6, so we get to start the game with the Tyranids. Yay, stealing first turn. So, movement. Alright, so the Tyranid warriors and Hive Tyrant all advanced forward. These Gene Stealers just moved forward. After doing some measurement, there's really nothing I can do for the Cypher phase. Can't do a shooting phase because all of these guys are either short or have heavy weapons. So no shooting for them. So charge phase. These gene stealers are going to attempt a really, really long charge to get to the shock troops over there, but they're definitely going to try that. Alright, so let's see if they can make this ridiculously long charge. Against all odds, these freaking gene stealers actually made a 10-inch charge. They lost 3 to Overwatch, and then just completely killed off the squad. That happened. That was craziness. And then I vaguely remember, oh yeah, tyranids are ridiculous because gene stealers. Alright, so that'll make it the Imperial Guard's turn. Movement. Summon lose. After witnessing what just happened to that one squad of shock troops, these guys have decided it's probably best to not move. And just take the charges as they come, because it looks like they're about to. So none of these guys are going to move. These guys don't have psychers. I guess the commander is going to send out his... He can really only tell that other group of infantry anything, and they're not in range to shoot anything. So there's no point in going. I guess he could give it to himself. Well, you guys probably know that better than me, so... Can he give it to himself? I won't do it this game, but if it proves that they can, I'll try it next game. So, I guess it's just regular shooting then. So the last cannon killed one of these guys, and the Malleus rocket launcher managed to damage another one. So the Rogaldorn battle tank killed off 3 of these gene stealers and 2 of these Tyranid warriors, which is good to see. I need to kill these Tyranids off. So for charges, the Sentinel is going to charge into the gene stealers. Well, the Sentinel definitely made his charge. He didn't do any damage to the gene stealers, and they just about killed him. Alright. That'll take us to the Tyranid turn. So, movement. Alright, so all of the warriors and the Hive Tyrant just moved forward their basic move. Gene Stealers are going to stay in combat. So for the Psyker phase, the Hive Tyrant is going to try and manifest Onslaught on this group of warriors. Gets it on a 6. That's a 7. So these guys don't suffer the penalty to fire a heavy weapon for moving. I mean, they can also charge if they advanced, but they didn't, and they don't have assault weapons, so it doesn't matter. So that will take us into Tyranid shooting. It should be an interesting phase. But I think Tyranids, I don't really think Tyranid shooting. I think Tyranids like charging in and just eating you while you watch. But shooting this turn, they didn't do badly at all. The 2 Tyranid warriors, I thought they had heavy weapons, but their assault, that'll teach me to look at the codex more, like, better. They killed 3 of these Acadian shock troops, and then the Hive Tyrant managed to kill 5 more. These guys are almost guaranteed to run if they survive. Well, there's nobody going to charge them. These guys are too far away to charge, so it'll just be the regular combat between the Gene Stealers here and the Sentinel. The Gene Stealers have destroyed the Sentinel. It did not explode. And then as a second double whammy, the 2 shock troops that were over here failed their morale test and most definitely ran away. Didn't matter what I rolled. 8 died, they were definitely running. Alright. It does make it these guys' turn. This is all that's left of them. Maybe they'll do a little better. I don't know, the way these guys rolled over the orcs, I thought they were going to do better against these guys, but Tyranids are definitely mauling these guys. Either way, it's the Imperial Guard's turn for movement. Yeah, you know what? No one's gonna move. So shooting phase. Alright, once again, the Rogaldorn is definitely getting his use in. Managed to kill off the Gene Stealers with the multi-melta, and then the battle cannon killed off the two Tyranid warriors that were over here. So, not doing the worst terribly, but still anybody's game. That'll make it the Tyranid turn for movement. Alright, so the warriors and the Hive Tyrant have moved up this way. And the Rippers have popped out over here behind this Field Ordnance battery. So the Psychic phase. Alright, so the Hive Tyrant is going to try and manifest Catalyst on these warriors. Goes up on a 6. That's a 7. So these warriors have a 5-up feel no pain. So the shooting phase. Alright, so the Hive Tyrant was the only thing that was able to wound anything. He did 3 damage to the rocket launcher. I keep thinking it's a missile launcher, but I'm pretty sure it's a rocket launcher. Did 3 damage to that. So for charge phase, the Rippers here are going to attempt a ginormous charge into the rocket launcher. Hive Tyrant's going to multi-charge into the command squad and the rocket launcher. And these guys are still too far away to charge yet. So the Rippers did not make their charge. It was a 10-inch charge. But the Hive Tyrant definitely made it in. He got the rocket launcher down to 1. He killed off 3 of the veterans. The Cadian commander actually managed to do 8 points of damage to the Hive Tyrant, so there's that. So that'll make it the Imperial Guard turn for movement. Alright, so the Cadian commander and the last veteran have fallen back, as has the rocket launcher. It's got a movement in there, so I assume that the 2 guys that aren't on the thing yet help move it, and that's why they can't shoot it. I mean, it'd probably still be a -1 to hit. I don't know how that works, but it's got a movement on it. It fell back. No suckers, so the shooting phase. Alright, so the Rogel Dorn killed off the Tyranid warriors, killed 2 of these Rippers, and did 6 damage to this Hive Tyrant. These guys fell back, so they can't charge, and don't really charge with a tank, so that'll put it down to the Tyranids for movement. The Ripper Swarm has moved closer to the rocket launcher here. Hive Tyrant's just kind of getting closer to prepare for a charge into the tank. So for the Psyker phase, he's going to smite the command guys here. Goes off on a 5. Gets down an 8. Does D3, so 2 damage. That might actually kill those guys. Hold on. Hold up and go ahead and do the shooting phase. So the Hive Tyrant killed off the Cadian commander. Charge phase will be the Hive Tyrant into the tank. These 2 Ripper Swarms into the rocket launcher. Alright, well the Rippers made their charge, suffered no damage in Overwatch. Didn't do any damage to the rocket launcher, and they didn't take any damage back. Hive Tyrant died in Overwatch to the one of the multi-melters. Oh well. So that'll make it the Ripper's turn. So they're not going to move. they're going to stay in combat. They do have pistol weapons, so they're going to try and shoot those. Well, it's definitely a day for dramatic reversals because somehow the Rippers actually managed to kill that ordnance battery. Too far away for them to charge, so that will make it the Imperial Guard turn. So, not gonna move because they can see the Rippers. Well, the tank, I don't know, can see the Rippers. Alright. Tank can see the Rippers now. So then we'll go to the shooting phase. Alright, so the battle tank killed off the last two remaining Rippers, so that means that the Imperial Guard wins this game. Yay! I mean, the Tyranids did kind of beat them down to just a couple of units here, so definitely need to buy more of these guys. It's on my list. If you made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it. It's been a rough week. Yeah, just if you live in the US, then you know we've had Thanksgiving to deal with this week. If you don't, I don't know what other people do for November. I don't know if you guys have holidays like that, so. Either way, thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.